Hello guys, Dead Spikes here. Today I will be making a video talking about how you can start farming for M10 or what you should be farming in Mayhem 10. Kind of a video to start you guys out with. We're about day into this and I got some pretty good experience to know what's going on and how to farm and what you should be doing in it. I have to say Mayhem 10 is pretty awesome myself. It is way better than I expected, but we're not going to go too far into that. Before we start this video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and make sure you're in the community Discord, which is in the pinned comment down below, and let's get into it. First thing I want to show is my first Grave Ward fight for M10. It was pretty funny. Mayhem 10 was a lot stronger than we kind of expected it to be, but it's not too strong. It is manageable, but here's my first Grave Ward fight. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but man, it kicked my butt for a while. I was quite surprised. I wasn't sure what I was going to come up against here. I was using my nice trick. And I did pretty much nothing. This fight took a good like 5 minutes plus on Grave Ward. Mayhem 10 was pretty hard to start with, I will admit that. I actually went and got an unseen threat and then came back and I was able to farm him pretty quickly, about at the same rate I was able to before after I got Mayhem 10 loot. But let's get into the actual video now. First thing I'm going to tell you is that you should be farming this weapon right here. This is for Zane players anyways, is an unseen threat. You're going to want a Mayhem 10 version of an unseen threat. It's going to have between 15,000 and 19,000 damage. I haven't seen a 20,000 damage one yet. It might exist. But there's no way to actually tell if an item is Mayhem 10 or not. You kind of just have to have a general knowledge of damage numbers and, I don't know, item score, I guess. Item score plays a big part, I can tell. Closer to 700 is more Mayhem 10 loot. I hope at some point maybe they implement something so it tells you if it's Mayhem 10 or not, but currently right now there is no way to tell the difference between Mayhem 0 and Mayhem 10 loot. But this is a Mayhem 10 unseen threat with actually pretty low damage because it's a higher mag, faster firing one. I'll show you where to farm that quick. This is again for Zanes that own the DLC. You're going to want to come to Curse Haven, Olmsted Square, and this is a rare spawn enemy. Once you're here, you're just gonna want to run up ahead. I used the Mayhem 0 fire and shock lobs to kill him pretty quick. You're gonna run up here, and if this red portal spawns, that means he spawned. If it didn't, it means he didn't. Just save and quit and go through it again until you get a nice Mayhem 10 unseen threat. It's pretty necessary to be able to farm Mayhem 10. And this is a Mayhem 10 lob, not with the anointment I want yet, but you can still see it does decent damage versus him. Pretty easy to farm, I must say, so I would get that first. After you get that, I will show you what to do. Alright, so I went into Mayhem 10 like we went into all the other Mayhems and everything else in the game, farming bosses. I farmed that unseen threat, which is a great thing because that's the only thing that drops it. But I farmed Grave Ward, about 80 kills, I believe. And then someone in my chat kind of mentioned the new universe event that's going on. So I went and did a little bit of research and figured out some stuff about it. And what it does is it actually makes it so certain world drop weapon types spawn in different areas around the world that is part of the event. So the world that's part of the event right now is Pandora. So certain parts of Pandora are dropping certain world drop weapon types. For an example, Cathedral of the Twin Gods is dropping shotguns and artifacts right now. As you can see, literally right there, it dropped a shotgun and an artifact. So coming here and killing all the normal enemies will drop plenty of shotguns and artifacts. This is where you're going to want to be farming for shotguns and artifacts. Now don't worry, I do have the list for you right here. We don't have a completely perfected and done list yet, but this is what we have. We have rocket launchers are at Guts of Carnivora. We have SMGs at Conrad's Hold. And then we have pistols at the Splinterlands. We have class mods at the Droughts. We have grenades and assault rifles at the Devil's Razor. And then we have snipers at Ascension's Bluff. And then last but not least, artifacts and shotguns at Cathedral of the Twin Gods, which is where I'm at right now. Now all badasses and anointed enemies and such will be dropping world drops of those types. Now by world drops I mean it will not be dropping things that are dedicated to certain enemies. For example, how the red line is Roadhog's shotgun. There's no ad that will drop a red line because that is Road Dog's dedicated loot. You will only get world drop items like Polybius, Lobs, conference calls, Hellwalkers, and things like that. But for right now, I'm trying to farm Lobs, so Cathedral of the Twin Gods is a great place for me to farm. Do you see how many shotguns I've already farmed? And I'm only in the first section here. It's great. Now when you come to these sections, if there is a boss, which there isn't a boss here, you should be farming the normal enemies rather than the boss. The normal enemies seem to be dropping them a lot more often. The anointed enemies seem to drop a lot too, even though they're a pain in the butt. Oh wow, I just killed both of them right there. As you can see right there. And right there. Very nice. Ooh, Brainstormer. Fade away. At the same time, I do recommend you to be farming the cartel event, because all these enemies you are killing will be dropping those decoder rings, which will send you to the cartel. So I recommend you to pick a spot you want to farm, get the 30 decoder rings, go do the cartel event, and come back and do it over and over again until you get the loot that you want. Then maybe go to the next section and keep farming that until you feel specced out for Mayhem 10. If you are wondering for the modifiers that I like to run Mayhem 10 with, here they are right here. Galaxy Brain, which will make their heads 100 times bigger. It means easier crits. Break it up, enemy damage, and fire rate is increased by 30%. It doesn't matter for Zane because you have a barrier up and they're not really hitting you. Chain Gang, nearby enemies are attached by damaging elemental beam. I haven't had a problem with that. And then Roguelite, you no longer enter fight for your life before dying. All enemies drop instant health upon death. That is a dangerous one to run, but I find it to be fine. Just don't go down, basically. I feel like with Zane and probably on M10, if you go down, you're gonna die anyways because it's hard to kill stuff on M10. That's kind of why I went with that one. But that'll do it for this video. I hope it helped you guys understand this event that came out and helps you farm some of the stuff for it. If you have not yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel for some more helpful videos like this. I will be releasing them quite often with these news events because I'm having a lot of fun with Borderlands 3. Make sure to leave a like on the video if it did help you out. Leave a comment about how you feel about the new Mayhem 10 events that are happening right now. I'll see you guys in the next video and some of you in the stream. Bye-bye. This is Bikes out.